Next week, Linda Lee Potter talks to Pat Seed, who raised millions of pounds for cancer research but eventually lost her own battle against the disease. Pat Seed's last interview in Linda Lee's People at 10:25 next Tuesday here on BBC1 in the North West. On BBC2 shortly, Newsnight includes a full report of the day's events at the Conservative Party conference in Brighton. Here on BBC1, 3 problems of sexual identity are discussed in the first of a new series of Claire Rayner's Casebook.
This is a new series of programmes about people with problems.
Claire Rayner is unable to enter into personal correspondence with viewers, but the leaflet mentioned in the programme, which contains further information and useful addresses, is available by sending a large stamped addressed envelope to Claire Rayner's Casebook, BBC TV, London W12 8QT. And this address can also be found on page 189 of CFAX. In next week's programme, Claire Rayner talks to 4 people who consider themselves outsiders. Her casebook opens at the same time, 10:55 next Tuesday. In just over 2 minutes, music from the reggae band Aswad, Late Night in Concert. That's after the news headlines from Julia Somerville.
The Home Secretary Leon Britton has told the Conservative conference in Brighton that the government will provide unlimited money to pay for the policing of the coal dispute. In his strongest speech yet about the strike, Mr Britton announced plans for new public order acts to curb picket line violence, and he promised more protection for chief constables against left-wing police authorities. And the Energy Secretary, Peter Walker, told the conference that the government would not allow Britain to become a land fit for bully boys. A member of the Miners' Union Executive, Roy Ottey, is resigning. He says he's not prepared to defy the law. In the High Court tomorrow, there'll be another hearing on the attempt by 2 Yorkshire miners to declare union leaders in contempt of court. The union's executives say they'll defy any such ruling. 10,000 car workers at Vauxhall's Luton and Ellesmere port plants have gone on strike after rejecting the company's pay offer of about 7.5%. The men at Vauxhall's commercial vehicle plant in Dunstable have voted against striking. And Jaguar unions have unexpectedly rejected their offer of 21% over 2 years, but have decided to keep talking. 37 Merseyside shipyard workers in prison for contempt of court have been recommended for the honour of freemen of the City of Liverpool. The men had been occupying the Camel-Laird Yard in protest at enforced redundancies. The recommendation has come from the ruling Labour group on the council. A senior civil servant at the Ministry of Defence, Clive Ponting, has been committed for trial at the Old Bailey on charges of passing information about the sinking of the Argentine cruiser General Belgrano. He's alleged to have passed the documents to the MP Tam Diel. Solicitors for Mr Ponting said he would plead not guilty. Gina Campbell, daughter of the late Donald Campbell, has survived a speedboat crash similar to the one that killed her father 17 years ago. It happened on a lake near Nottingham shortly after she'd set a new women's water speed record. She wasn't seriously hurt, but the boat was a write-off. And now tonight's late football results. In the Milk Cup second round second leg, Aldershot 2, Brighton 0. Brentford 0, Leicester 2. Bristol Rovers 1, Arsenal 1. Cardiff 1, Watford 0. Carlisle 1, Fulham 2. Hull 2, Southampton 2. Liverpool 2, Stockport 0. Luton 3, Orient 1. Rotherham 1, Stoke 1. And Tottenham 4, Halifax 0. And that's all from the newsroom. Good night.
Now on BBC1, from the stage of the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland, the reggae band Aswad, playing some of their greatest hits, Late Night in Concert.
Hello. You know, one of the most frustrating things about going to a rock concert